81 West podcast back with another interview. I'm Culture. This is my guy TQ, aka Taquan.
What's good, brother? Thank you for having me on, man.
Absolutely. How you feeling, bro?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited to do this. This is one of my first concrete interviews that I'm ever doing, so thank you for having me.
Of course, absolutely. So it's been a while for me, and people that follow you on Instagram. It hasn't been a while because we stay up to date with you. But you know what I'm saying. Behind the scenes, how's life been?
Behind the scenes been hectic, really, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always in a constant phase of recreating myself, rebranding myself. How can I elevate?
Right.
And this has been one of the toughest chapters of elevating because I don't want to do anything small. Like even if it is small, like I can't do anything small. And I want to be consistent, more consistent. I'm naturally like I love doing things at random and
Yeah.
just Beyonce and certain projects and stuff like that. Not even telling people what I'm doing.
Right.
So I've had some things in the tuck for years that I've never shared with no one. I have talents that I've never shared with people ever that I'm finally about to show people. So behind the scenes for me, um, I'm really making a commitment to myself to really get these things done and push these things out this year. So
Yeah.
got
You know what that reminds me of? You ever heard that saying? Be like a duck though. You're calm up to up like on top, like you know what I mean. We can see that like the duck is calm,
yeah,
but under the water he's like fucking paddling like a bitch, like you know what I'm saying, going crazy. You know what I'm
that's
saying?
me.
So that's what it reminds me of, cause like for me, like you know what I mean. It just look like another day in the life of TQ. You know what I mean? You always posting these great ass fucking reels.
Thank you.
You still gotta teach me how to make them.
I got you. We're
Nah,
locking.
I've been dibbling dabbling in fucking in the TikToks, so I like kind of
Yeah,
got an idea now, but
yeah,
you know
and
what I'm
they
saying?
paying you now. Like,
Yeah, that's what they were paying me on. They started paying on Instagram, so I was like,
yeah,
yeah, I'm really about to start making reels. Like, fuck
yeah.
that.
That monetization is real. Like that's allowing artists and businesses to really take things into their own hands and get the, love that, all these other people that have been on like YouTube
Hmm.
making money and things like that. And, I think that was one of my favorite things, like with Instagram when my joint finally monetized and I went through the whole process. I was
Yeah,
like, damn, now I'm more excited to do it,
exactly,
making money.
exactly. That's what because I started making all these reels, and then I was like, damn, my page don't look like an artist page anymore. Like you know what I mean. So that's
Mm.
where I kind of felt like that's when I kind of fell back off the
Yeah, yeah,
reels.
yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. I'm trying to get in there, so I'm gonna start just posting my music on like, but as reels.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and, and
saying?
and that's what I'm doing too. Like this year I'll be doing like a series of skits, comedies,
Hmm.
serious stuff, and I'm really just going to be utilizing that to promote, like the bigger piece of the content, but using the reels to like just push it out there quick, like
Yeah.
chopping it up and just pushing it out there.
Right. So for those of you who don't know TQ, he is a visionary, videographer, cameraman. I know you as so much though, but what's like your main focus? Like what
Don't ask me that question.
like what
No, no, no. I love that.
as far as
Yeah.
when you're attracting customers,
hmm
what are you going to for them as a videographer mainly, right? Like as a
Yeah, yeah. I would say that, but also I guess like I would say that I'm a content creator,
content
and
creator,
and
okay.
that when I step to them, and what I try to do with my clients is I put myself in their complete shoes.
Hmm.
What would I want to see on my page, or what would their clients want to see on their page? And one of the things that kind of COVID helped me with, because and I'm thankful for like some of the people that I worked with in the past that was very deep into branding and marketing.
Right.
And for me, I'm working with this company, This Is It TV, for years, and I didn't realize now I have this strong muscle to really see content in a whole different way. So when I get any client, I'm automatically thinking like, okay, what's the full scope of what we can do? How creative can we get to
Hmm.
attract people to their brand?
Exactly. Exactly. So you use words like content creator and visionary and getting the whole picture and stuff like that. We just had this conversation, like literally I found this out 2 minutes before we turned the camera on.
Yeah.
um what was you tell me, because I still don't know. What was it like? First of all, how did you get the opportunity to work with MTV,
Oh yeah.
and what was it like?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you my story a little bit of how pretty much. So I started off as an actor in
Hmm.
creative arts in Camden, and pretty much I got this mentor, Eric Mills, who put a camera in my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So I started getting very deep into like, okay, how can I make my own films and push them out there?
Right.
He was him and Dr. Overton, who was it was funny. Like Eric Mills was our teacher. He came the same year that I came, but Dr. Overton been there for years. He's a legendary teacher at the school. He just left the school, retired and everything like that. But Eric Mills had came in and he was introducing us to all these new elements that haven't been a part of the acting program.
Right.
And what I loved about them too is that they were just so about us growing that they pushed us so hard. And I was a very lazy kid at that time. I was missing out on opportunities because I just wanted to stay at home and do what I wanted to do and
Right.
stuff like that. And they were on me. So pretty much they pushed me to do some competitions. The first year I bombed. I didn't know what I was doing. I was making music videos. I always been like into music.
Yeah.
And I was making music videos instead of making movies.
Mm-hmm.
So the next year, well, that same year I got blessed and they took me to the national competitions to see what winners films were looking like a part of this competition. I was like, okay, I could do that.
Right.
Came back the next year, won gold in New Jersey, and then I went on to
Nice, bro.
I went on to Las Vegas to win the first bronze medal in film for the Fort Camden's district. So and
Damn,
that's
how was
Axel.
that, bro?
It was amazing. That competition changed my life. It was a competition where it's all these black kids from all over the United States coming to perform in all different categories, from science, math, dance, acting, film, music composition. They had anything that you could think of that was an art form or some type of just like some type of talent. They made sure they try to implement it into this. So that was my first time coming outside of my shell, traveling somewhere and seeing different black kids operate at a different way, professional, and things like that. All dressed up. We're all dressed up in suits and things like that. And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
this is excellent. This
Right.
is what black excellent really means. And for me, that just made me like want to step up my game even more and be like these other kids that were out there and grow with them. Some of them are some of my closest friends to this day, have helped me with my career and everything like that.
Nice.
And, yeah.
So that competition is how you got introduced to working with
Well,
MTV?
that was one of the reasons why I got in. So I had a number of films that I did that year. That year I had went through something traumatic. I was jumped in my city, walking somebody home. People thought I was somebody else. The stand at third. It was a whole nine, whatever the case may be. But I went through like a little bit of a dark phase of a month where I was just hospitalized at home. And my teacher calls me up and says, we're going on a field trip. I know you've been going through some things, but pull up to the school and just come on this. We'll promise we'll make sure you good. If you're not feeling too good, just stick back or whatever. And I said, you know what? I'm tired of sitting at home. After
Yeah.
that situation, I never wanted to stay home. That was my senior year. And that year, I had a realization that I wanted to step up and really be on my stuff. So I have already written out my AXO film. This is before the film even came out. So that year we went to MTV, to Viacom, to see what it was like to work in the industry and be there. I go in there and I've never choked before. Like I'm talking about Eminem 8 Mile choke on like I was like quiet, and I'm never really quiet when I feel that opportunity, and I felt like I don't know, it's something about this is going to change my life. And I don't know how, I don't know what's going to happen, but this is where I think Quan, this is why he was always my right hand. We were in the same acting class, same birthday, all that crazy stuff. And we're in a meeting with this guy named Chris McCarthy. He was the CEO of VH1 at the time, or MTV2, one of those. And he was like, hey, anybody in here want to be a filmer, this, that, and the third? And this is where I choked. I just sat there and I didn't say anything. And I was just like, just stuck. Like, do I really want to be in this right now? And my boy kind of like, I think he was just watching me because he's you know, that Aquarius,
Yeah.
just observing. He said, my boy, my boy, he films. He be having us running around the school just
Kawan
doing,
said that?
yeah.
Nice.
Just stepped up. And
Shout out to Kawan.
for real. And he did that, and then the choke went away, and I just spoke the rest of the business that needed to be done. It was another girl named Nate. She stepped up and said, "What, could we get something on air?" And I said, "Yeah, could we get something on air?" You know, like I'm like, "Damn, that's a good idea. Let's do it." Like da da
Yeah.
da. Not knowing what it takes, but still, we gave it an effort. So we created 2 films that year: the AXO project, and then we did a short, like a 3-episode series, like a pilot series of what if we did like something like Degrassi or whatever the case may be, but in the hood.
Yeah.
And I pitched that to them soon as I got out of high school with all this work and all of my accomplishments. And they were impressed by me. They were like, okay, let's bring him in to work and do some things so he can see what it's like. So I got to skip a couple of steps to get in there. I was blessed to work on Wildin' Out for 3 years straight, and a
Nice.
number of other things. I worked on Uncommon Sense with Charlemagne and things like that, just working behind the scenes, just chilling.
Yo, could we just take a pause right quick, bro? Because, like, I'm so impressed, bro. I'm fanboying right now, bro. I'm,
That
like,
means a lot, man.
drooling. I'm like,
I do see your eyes get big.
bro.
But
But
no,
it's like,
yeah.
no, like, I love that about you because I would have never known. And that just speaks to your character, bro. Because honestly, like, why are you not bragging more? Like, you know what I
That's
mean? And
never been me.
that's
Yeah.
that's the humbleness in you that I'm just like so in love with right now. Like, I'm like, wow, bro.
Yeah.
Like that's
Thank you. I
everything, bro.
appreciate it.
That's everything. Keep that, like stay who you are because like this just like I already looked at you like so highly, bro. And it's like
Appreciate you.
now I'm like, yeah,
I
bro.
appreciate it.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
a reason why I don't brag. Like that don't get you nowhere. And I've been through that. I was never impressed by people who bragged, even if they were the most talented person in the room. And I never wanted to make people feel uncomfortable. If I'm ever like, you know, and I know I will be, but when I'm famous and I'm out there and people all know who I am, I still want to be an approachable guy. I
Right.
still want to be a guy that people can come up to and have a real conversation with. I don't
Absolutely.
want to be one of those celebrities that feel like a robot. And I think that was a blessing of being in that environment because I got to be around successful celebrities and see how they operated and moved. And a lot of them are very genuine, you
Yeah.
know,
I learned
especially
I
like
realized that too, yeah.
Charlemagne. I got to hear him talk. He's a very intelligent man. And just like Nick Cannon, like another phenomenal black man in the industry doing their thing. They're very chill. They're very relaxed in their element. They're very humble, and and you can have a conversation with them.
I hear that all the time about Nick Cannon, and I watch Cannon's class. Like, you know, I'm a big podcast fan,
Yeah.
so I watch Cannon's class all the time, and I can see it, and I hear it. And not so much about Charlemagne as far as the nice guy
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
but like I know he's intelligent because I've read his books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I
So
always tell people like you just got to look at the character that he
Yeah.
has to be because he's known for being that person.
and that's what's so important about branding because like once you're an asshole, once you're the donkey of the day, you have to stay the donkey of the day. You know what I
Facts.
mean? You're the donkey of the century.
Facts, and he's just really good at just doing that. But like behind the scenes, he's a like he's a cool dude. He's a approachable dude, and I've always just wanted to stay that way. So like I was telling you before the interview, I'm not great at talking about myself because someone got to ask me some questions and be interested, and then I'll share. But
Yeah.
I'm not about to be out here like, yeah, I did this, I did that. I would get tired of it, and it's not fun.
I hope you get the vibe that I'm interested because I'm
Yes,
so
yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
so
sir.
interested, bro. I'm like,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But
tell
that's
me more. Keep talking.
so what I do too with like that bragging aspect, I just hold that energy in and I just realized that this is my life. When I was in MTV, I was known for dancing around the set.
Mm-hmm.
Like constantly just like this is when Ray Shimmer was like popping and stuff like that and somebody come get her. Like
Yeah.
I was just like just everywhere. And it was like, yo, we love your energy. Like I said, I'm just so privileged to be here.
Yeah.
It's many times in my life and I just shared the story where I got jumped. I almost died from that. And multiple times, like I could have lost my life.
Yeah.
And and I have people that lost their life. I've had people that, went to jail and they can't be here, but I want to be an inspiration. I want to be the example for a positive person who been through everything that they've been through, but still kept prevailing. So,
Right. That's really good, bro. That's I'm completely impressed by you right now, bro.
Thank you.
Like I actually almost forgot like a few of the questions that I had. Like I had to bring myself back to that I'm the the host
Yeah.
because I was gonna just let you go. Like, but I had to like recenter myself because I'm just like so impressed by you right now.
But
Bro.
it's the same thing right back, just to turn the attention on you. You're the same way, bro. And that's why I was like, yeah, I'll give you one of my first concrete interviews because
Mm-hmm.
when we work together, it's that same energy.
Yeah, for
You get what
sure.
I'm saying?
For
Like
sure.
we bond off of this energy of like being authentic and just being genuine
Mm-hmm.
and being raw. Like I'm
Yeah.
speaking from the chest right now. You always speaking from the chest with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
So, you're just as an icon to me. You
Thank you.
inspired me, helped me get back on the music thing, just,
Mm-hmm.
helped me open my mind up to a lot of things. We're nothing without the people in our circle
Yeah.
boosting us up and helping us realize who we are,
For sure. For
So
sure.
thank you.
You recently worked on a project with Picture Boy.
Yes, yes, yes.
Is now it was the movie called Picture Boy, or is
The movie's called Picture
the
Boy.
me
Yeah, yeah.
and everything else is called Monstars?
Movie
Monstars?
Monstar is the
Movie
name of their
Monstars.
production
All
company.
right, all right. Because
Yeah.
I didn't know if Picture Boy was the.
Ah,
You
I
know what I
got you.
mean?
I got you. I
So
got
so
you.
you worked on the movie Picture Boy.
Yes, I got to come in and do some training with the actors, working
Mm-hmm.
with the actors. And this is something that I do a lot. Like I'll pop up on different people's sets and different, just different whatever. Like, cause getting in front of a camera, it's always a performance.
Mm-hmm.
It's always some type of acting techniques that you could be perfecting, even on podcasts or
Mm-hmm.
even on, like just going on your phone, going like that. It's a certain level of confidence that you come across.
Yeah.
So I'm always constantly doing that. Now, what I was thankful about with this project, this was my first time really diving in on a movie and just being behind the scenes, just working with some of the actors and
Yeah.
things like that.
I was actually fortunate enough to be there and to
Mm-hmm.
be able to see it. Shout out to the entire cast, and I was like, my fucking friends are doing this, like, and I'm in a movie theater watching a
Watching them,
screen,
right?
and you're right in front of me. Tanisha's right in front of me. Kawan's right next to her, and I was
Yeah.
like, Alyssa's right next
That
to
was
me,
a
and
hell
I'm
of
just
an
like, bro,
experience.
this is a beautiful fucking
Yeah.
thing, and it's like. Tanisha's on the soundtrack. Kawan's acting. You're directing and doing all the great shit you do behind the scenes, and it's just like I felt so blessed just to be in your guys' presence and just to be able to see that, and it just I never like think about myself
Yeah.
in a sense, but I was looking around the audience, and I'm corny like this, but as I'm watching this movie and I'm fucking wailing up, like just I seen fucking from the first scene when Kawan's like on the wall talking to the John in the club, I'm like, he cool as shit. But and then really what the moment that it really hit me was when I heard Tanisha singing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is my best fucking friend, and
Yeah.
she's in the movie. And I
Yeah.
look, and there's like young kids in this theater.
Yeah.
And all I can think of is watch this.
Yeah.
Be inspired by this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There because we come like where we come from. I'm not from Camden, but anywhere in South Jersey, we're overlooked. Like you know, what I mean? We are the little men. So it's like be inspired, be motivated. This woman that you hear on the soundtrack with this beautiful voice, she's right next to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Be
your
inspired
friend.
by that.
That's your friend, like you said.
Yeah.
Like and
Be
and
inspired by that.
that was my favorite part about the night.
Yeah.
Is all the people that I was surrounded by. I came on to the project to help out where I could, because of them. You
Yeah.
know, and I said that. I said Tanisha and Kwan's a part of this. I'll assist where I can, and make sure that I can add wherever I can to help out. And I love our circle, our support team, because the whole line was just people that were constantly around the entire time. Like,
Yeah, and we went crazy when T when T started singing. We was in the crowd going
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
I had to remember we was in a movie theater.
hey yo, you're funny.
I was like, oh wait.
Had to bring it back for a second.
Yeah,
But yeah, what I really took from the experience too is because I'm always thinking about the future in a way and the next step, and I can only have but so much time with them, the actors and stuff. So I started writing a lot of stuff for like the last 5 months, for me to work with some of the producers to bring them on some of the projects that I have, to elevate the actors even more.
Yeah.
Because when I see someone, I don't see someone in one way. I don't ever even see myself in one way, and I'm real big with not being boxed in.
Right.
And
Same here.
I like range. Like I like actors like Lakeith Stanfield. I like actors who's another good range person.
Sarah Paulson. That's one of my
Yeah,
favorite actresses.
oh my
is Sarah
God.
Paulson.
Oh
Sarah
my
Paulson is
God,
my favorite
yes.
actress.
Yeah, but anybody with like a great range, I'm studying them. I'm watching them just to see like what makes them different. You know, Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger was one of the first people that
Yeah,
introduced me to
I
range.
love the Joker.
Come on.
It's my favorite. My favorite Batman is the Dark Knight. So
Yes.
now, thank you for saying that because I have this argument all the time. Like, who's the best Joker, Heath Ledger or 1989 Joker? They were both good, but
Yeah.
Heath Ledger,
Come
like,
on,
he
man.
was the Joker. You know what I mean?
He was killing that, bro. Like he really, you know, he
Yeah,
he put his all into that, literally.
yeah.
And that's what I respect about the craft too, and that's what I bring to the table as as a director, as an actor.
Hmm.
Whenever I do something, I try to give it my 100%. And I'm really deep with emotions and everything. I shot my first featured film early in the year, which was an educational film, and that film was filled with nothing but emotion. Just to give you what it was about the African American woman's journey from slavery up into this point, and it
Hmm.
was a constant question asked the entire time, and the question was like, what if a black girl knew this? Her strengths, how would she go about herself, this, that, and the third, if she knew like, damn, this is me, this is what courses through my veins,
Hmm.
this is what got me here, and it made me think about so many different things. But the emotion that was put into this
Hmm.
by the amazing actor Fola, the direction that Sonia
Oh,
Pennington.
Fola did that. Nice. Shout out
Yes,
to her.
yes, I
Shout out to
forgot. Yeah,
her.
yeah, y'all
Yeah,
met at the
she
open
was
mic,
no.
right?
Yeah, we met at the open mic. She was here with you last time you
Right, right,
recorded.
right, right, right.
Yeah, she's an amazing soul too. Like,
Yes,
she's a
for
great
real,
person.
for real.
Great
A
person.
good friend of mine now, very supportive.
Now,
Um,
if you can, could you like send me like if that's out?
I'll send it to you so you can just check it out and
Definitely, I
everything like
definitely would
that.
check it
But
out.
don't you post it.
Oh, I won't. Oh, it's not
Don't.
out yet.
No, not yet. No, so we want to take it to some film festivals and things like that.
All right. Well, let me know and I'll be there. You
Yeah,
know, I supporting the
we,
fullest.
we we are going to do some more screenings in April and stuff like that, and everything. But I showed it to like majority of the people at my house while I was doing it because I
Hmm.
wanted them to understand this is changing me.
Yeah.
Like every project changes me because I learned something new. And I think that's the beauty in art, is that it's constantly helping you grow. And for me, this project was the project that I needed to set the tone
Yeah.
for myself, for my career, and the way that I'm going to make sure that I bless every actor with not just the talent of acting, but just being a human within yourself
Right.
and bringing that to the table every time you work.
Let's get off of the filmmaking. Cause I don't know. I just want to get to know you personally.
All
Now let's
right,
talk
bet.
about
Come
you.
on,
Let's
let's do
talk
this.
about TQ.
It's my favorite color.
No, for real. So like, what are some of your hobbies, bro? Like outside of like when you're not being a full fledged Aquarius, what are some of your hobbies?
Um, like I guess like normal things. Well, everybody, I think everybody knows this about me now, but I meditate a lot. That's what centers me, and
Hmm.
I really haven't really talked about like what my meditation is and how I go about it, but I really meditate. It's not
Yeah.
to sit there and just zen out and just clear your mind. I actually have a routine that helps me clear my mind.
Hmm.
And I actually go through different stages of like really writing things down, my fears, my guilt, my shame, my grief at that moment, the lies that I may be telling myself that's blocking the truth,
Hmm.
opening up my imagination so I can be my higher self.
Right. Right.
I really go through some, like, I really meditate.
Hmm.
My meditations are deep, and I think that's one of the biggest pieces that make me me, so I can be good for the world, because
Hmm.
I always tell people I am. Um, I love the world, but I'd like to be to myself.
Right.
And sometimes coming around people, it gives me anxiety
Hmm.
because of the way that people operate and go about things. So for me to meditate, like I'm able to be non-judgmental when I come into the environment, so I can adapt and
Hmm.
and incorporate myself into the world. But before then, before meditating, I really didn't like being around a lot of people,
Yeah.
especially big groups of people. But I really didn't even like being in close, tight in circles and letting people into me. I used to just like stay back, be
Hmm.
quiet, observe the room, and then talk sometimes and
Yeah.
everything. Now you get me into a room and I'm comfortable.
Right.
Shit.
You can go all day. I'm glad you brought up meditation because that's also like something that I've been doing for I want to say like the past. I started meditating in 2018,
Okay.
and it just really helped me because I like and I always say 2018 was like a turning point in my life.
Yeah.
It's the point the sun just did us dirty. The sun just left.
Yeah, nah, that's true.
I
Global
just looked
warming.
around like, wow, it got dark.
Global warming.
It just got really dark.
It's cold in like certain places that ain't normally cold right now.
But I started 2018 was like a turning point in my
Yeah.
life where I pretty much almost lost everything I had. You know what I mean? I hit rock bottom, and it wasn't until I hit rock bottom until I started like looking inwards.
Yeah.
Because I was always like if something's going wrong, it must be you kind of
Yeah.
guy. You know what I mean? I never looked inside of myself, and that's when I learned meditation, and I started reading more and stuff like that. And meditation is just such an important thing, and I think one of the most important times I meditated in my life was at the album release party. And thank you for coming
Of
also.
course, man.
But I felt so anxious because I'm an overthinker, right? So I got like a million people telling me they're gonna come to the album release party, blah blah blah. First two people would show up were T and her mom, and then Half Breed showed up a second later, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then everybody else started coming in, and I just felt so overwhelmed with like who wasn't there and all that until T was like, dog, like we're here, like you know what I mean? That's what's important. We're here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, let me go in the bathroom and get my shit together.
Yeah.
Just turn the lights off.
Yeah.
Like and just.
And you did amazing that night. That was such a vibe, and
But if I hadn't, and that's why I want people to know like what meditation could do for you. If I hadn't had meditated, like there's no, and I meditated like the second song in. Like once we did, everybody dispersed. I think we had to like clear the parking lot or something like that. I'm like, all right, let me go in the bathroom, just get my shit together.
Yeah.
Like I need like 5 to 10 minutes to just like not be here for a second. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if I hadn't, I don't think I would have been able to, really perform and give you if it wasn't for that and the vibe that you guys created for me. But I wouldn't have been able to give you guys this show.
Trust, I
that I
understand.
did, you know what I mean?
I understand. Like I told you, my anxiety is not too far from that.
Yeah.
I care about everything that I do.
Yeah,
And when I was a young actor, I remember my teacher had me doing Shakespeare, playing Romeo and Juliet. I ate before I performed. Is a no. And yeah, that didn't stick to my stomach. That it was down the toilet. And my anxiety was just through the roof to the point where I was like, I don't think I could perform tonight. And he was like, nah, you got this.
Yeah.
He said, that anxiety that you have is God like literally giving you like some type of different like superpower almost. And you just need to embrace that. And whatever you need to do to, to get out there, do that. Take the time and breathe. And that was the first time someone told me to breathe. I didn't even acknowledge my breathing up until this point.
Right.
And he was like, just breathe. I breathed. Next thing I know, I went on, and after that, it didn't matter. Nothing mattered after that.
Yeah,
I was
for sure.
up there, and people were feeling the performance, and I can feel that. I did this crazy thing where I just kept talking to the audience while I was doing Shakespeare, and I would try to get them involved. I would jump in the crowd and do all this crazy stuff, and then it became fun. And after that, I was like, if I can get up and do Shakespeare, and that's a whole nother language, and people vibe with it, understand it, then I can do anything.
You can absolutely. It's definitely send me some footage of you performing. I would love to see that, bro.
I think I only got one really performance that's out there. That was a Black History program film, and I used to play this role called the soldier with a secret, and it was about the mental health of it was a fantasy of the mental health of soldiers from the Civil War and things like that, and it was very deep. It's looked at as a straight comedy, but for me, even when I got older, I started to understand the piece more.
The message, yeah.
But that's my favorite performance because that was like my Heath Ledger, like coming out like when I tell you, bro, I'm crazy in that role. Like I'm a psychopath, and I love it. I love jumping into like roles like that and having those outer body experiences. But that was something that stamped me in school. Like people always used to just come around. I had this one line where I had my staff in my hand and I was like, psst, and everybody just like kept coming to me like, psst. It was so fun.
That's a great fucking thing. That's a great thing. What kind of music are you into, bro?
Music. I like more instrumentals. Like listening to jazz, things that relax me, but I really like everything. I like things that just move me. So some days it might be like upbeat, up tempo type of music and stuff like that. That's just driving me. But I can say that if I had to choose a genre, it would be R&B.
R&B.
Like
okay, nice.
I just love singers.
We top three R&B artists for you.
Um, John Legend, number one. Shoot, Sade.
Nice.
Um,
Tanisha just. I didn't know who she was. T
yeah,
just introduced me to her. Like,
yeah.
I want to say, she's like, you don't know who Sade is? I was like, no. Sorry. This was like a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah,
yeah. So I just started getting into her. Another great
yeah,
artist.
no, amazing. Who else? Who else? Who else? Damn, that's hard. I don't even want to name someone else. I'm gonna just stick with them two right
Them
now
two right there.
because like I love them all. Like I don't even really have favorites, bro. Like
Hmm.
because I have moods. Like I haven't really listened to John Legend in so long, but then I started listening to him the other day, and same thing with Sade. Like
Hmm.
I was like, these are people I always go back to. But it's something about their music. It's funny. I listen to more female artists than male artists
Hmm.
in R&B because like they be speaking from the heart, like
Yeah, yeah.
really coming crazy. And I always tell people, like, for me, it helps me understand women more
Hmm.
when I listen to their music because it's like music is literally telling us like how certain people feel and it's telling them different stories. So, all right, I'll just name the last one, Janae Ianko.
Okay.
I really
Yeah.
love Janae Ianko. I really love her entire character.
Hmm.
Far as like how she presents herself as an artist, as the meditator and
Yeah.
spirituality
Hmm.
and freedom and sexuality and all of that stuff. I don't believe in sexualizing people and
Hmm.
judging people based off of their sexual experiences. So the fact that she's a movement in
Hmm.
that I feel like all of the artists now, female artists out now are big with that. And
Yeah.
I love that they're taking
Yeah.
control of their freedom.
Exactly, absolutely, bro. That's a beautiful thing that you just said. Like, we don't hear a lot of men like speaking on things like that.
Yeah,
You know what I
I
mean?
think we should because we've been living in a male dominant world for too long. Like it's really just been about us, like running things. And look, I don't think we've been doing the best of the job. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I think it's time for like, all types of people to get the freedom to be themselves. It's going to open up this world to be different. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Female leaders, black people doing more things, all of those different things, letting all different types of people just get up there without judgment.
Right.
And because that's the thing now, and I think a lot of people just are too stuck with their judgment. They see a person and they try to put them in a box, and that's why I'm big with that. I
Absolutely.
don't just want that. I don't want to be boxed in. For me, I don't box anybody else in. When I come and meet someone, you're a clear page to me, and there's layers. There's layers to people.
Hmm.
You never know who they are. Blah blah blah.
That's literally why I started singing. Well, other than Tanisha giving me that push, but I wanted to start singing because I felt like everybody was boxing me in. Like everybody was expecting me to do like the J. Cole type, Joey Badass type, you know what I mean?
Mm,
And it's just like, bro, like I have so much to me. Like, can I show you guys? Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I just was like, yo, like I felt boxed in, I felt caged in. I hate expectations. I
Mhm.
hate when people
Mhm.
expect this from you. Like, you know what I
Same.
mean?
Same.
Like you expect this, you expect that, and it's just like, bro, like. So I just popped out the blue and dropped the whole singing album.
Yeah, and you
How
killed
you
that
like that?
thing. You killed that thing.
I
That joint was
appreciate that.
beautiful. The message behind it, I felt the rawness in it, the difference, and
Yeah,
that's what I love. You feel me? Like literally, I created a playlist after that where I was like, I'ma just have like all my different friends
yeah.
and all the different people that I love to listen to from my city, outside of it, in Jersey. Just I like to listen to different people because it's inspiring too. Like to just hear someone be creative and step out the realm. If
Mhm.
we're all just trying to like reach a certain standard, that's ass and boring to me.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
I can't listen to the same type of message over and over, the same story over and over. So
Hmm.
that's why like when I came in here and I'm working on some music with you, I'm like I'm gonna be different every single time, and you promote that, and I found my home. You feel
Hmm.
me? And
Absolutely.
other places that I've went in the past, it was like I felt like I couldn't unlock that, and it's not anybody's fault but mine because I was afraid to let out that artist,
Hmm.
having that mindset of trying to be like another artist that I was thinking about. I was a big Lil Wayne fan growing up,
Yeah,
so
same
I
way, same here.
so I was always trying to do the raspy voice and come in there and do some emotional ass rock star song, or
Yeah,
or just be freestyling and doing certain things. But I found my niche in
hmm,
every finding your niche in everything that you
that's
do
so
is
important.
so important.
Yeah,
Your niche. How do you want to craft and mold this? What is your recipe to your creations and things like that? And I see that
absolutely.
with y'all.
Yeah,
You feel me?
for sure. I appreciate that, bro. So, like, what's next for you, bro? What can we expect?
This year, this year, a lot of people can expect to just like really be entertained by a lot of the things that I'm posting. Like I said, for the last 5 months, I just been writing, and that's one of my favorite things to do inside of the craft is to write for my Pacific projects. And what people can expect is more messages from my work, but also to be able to laugh and let go from like my social media period, because in my real life I laugh a lot. I tell jokes a lot. You know,
Right.
we walk
Yeah.
up and the first thing that I do is I tell a joke.
Right. Right.
But you know, and I don't really show that side of me. And I want to show that side of me through the work. I want to get on and do more podcasting like this. I just want to, you know, just be a human out here and just have fun and enjoy myself. So a lot of people can expect me to be a lot more human with, you know, my followers and things like that. The work that I have coming up is it's really going to be digging deep. Like some of the serious work is really going to be digging deep into the conditionings of just people in general, like how we're molded and why.
Right.
And that's what I enjoy about content when I watch it is like, why is a person a villain? You
Right.
feel me? Because I admire the villain story more than the hero sometimes.
Same here.
But I also like to see the hero fucking up. I like to see them be human because nobody's perfect.
Right.
So that's something that you're going to see inside of my work.
I like that you said that because a lot of people don't understand, but like Batman is literally my favorite. Well, Spider-Man, but
Yeah.
Batman is literally my favorite
Yeah.
favorite hero, and one of the reasons why I like Batman so much is because his character is so human. He doesn't have superpowers. He can't fly, like, or you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like when we paint pictures of like these heroes, because everybody always make fun of Batman. Like all he can do is punch. If he didn't have his armor on, da da da.
It's
Da,
a
and it's like
storyline, man.
yeah, exactly.
It's a storyline, and I think it's not enough people like watch the, you know, like the actual storyline of Batman, and
Yeah.
you know, you just watch the cartoon or you know,
Right.
but if you read the comics or dig deep into like some of the animated stuff that they put out now, they're starting to do that. If you watch some of the Batman series like Gotham, if you watch some of the things like the new Batmans that's coming out, the Batman type movies and stuff like that, they get deep into, you know, his mental health.
His mental health,
And his mental health
and his
is
past,
big.
like you know, watching his parents get killed in the alley, like, you know what I mean, like shit like that, and it's just like I love how human he is. That's one of my favorite things.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's where was we at? I started talking about Batman and lost myself.
But you was trying. You're investigating me and trying to find out who I am as a person. So that's why I was giving you a lot of like, this is who I am.
Yeah,
type
I'm
of, type
picking
of
I'm picking
answers.
you apart right now.
Yeah, do it. No shame to my game. I ain't got nothing to hide.
Yeah, for how old are you, bro?
I'm 25, turning 26 in January.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aquarius season.
Yeah.
I never knew your age. I always tried to guess, but I'm like, I think he's older than me, but I'm not sure. I'm 24.
Nobody.
24, 25.
Word. Nobody ever really knows my age, because like one, some rooms I'm immature in, so I probably like fit in very well. You feel me? But then most rooms I'm like serious and I'm talking and, you know, trying to inspire. You know, I just like to share. A personal thing about me is I just like to talk to people and have good conversations. When growing up, that was one of the only things that I had. My family, we didn't really have money like that, and we were constantly struggling trying to keep the house. Our electric constantly went out, so we were sitting in the dark just talking to each other. And I was raised by my grandpa, and all we did was have conversations. We sat back, talked about everything, and I couldn't have a better childhood from our struggles going into watching my family grow and get stronger and be successful, all of us. So, you know, I really love to just dig into people too and just figure out who they are,
Right.
type of thing.
Absolutely, bro. So I feel like I met you at a very pivotal time in your life.
Yes, you did.
And well, not met you because we met early in February. We met around like February, March. But I feel like we became close at a very pivotal
Yes,
time
we
in your
did.
life. And I wanted to talk to you about that, you know, the passing of your brother, Isaiah.
Yes.
Yeah, rest in peace to him. How do you feel like that impacted you and pushed you since then?
This was the crazy. I got crazy things that done happened to me. I've lost a lot of people, but he was the closest person to me. That was the person who's helped me in my mental health since the day we were born,
Yeah.
type of thing. All of my lessons, you know, whenever I was going through something, he was there.
Yeah.
So losing him, that was my rock. You feel me? And we made promises that we would do certain things together, that we're still doing them together in spirit. But he's not here. And adjusting to that, the world is different for me, the way that I view things. The way that it's pushed me is that I'm not gonna let him down. For me, going through a lot of the things that I went through as a kid, it sprung on a lot of depression, sadness, ready to give up type of energy. But that was one thing he did not let me do. So in his death, that would be disrespectful to start to go back off of things that, me and him grew through. So for me, every day when I wake up, I can't forget what happened. I can't forget that he's gone. So I just make light into the situation of that I'm going to do everything times 10, and go 10 times harder for him. You feel me? And now that he's with me, for some reason, and I'm very spiritual, and I feel like my life is now going to that next level faster because of him. I feel like he's making moves and pulling strings because he's with me. I meditated yesterday, and Tanisha, we talked about our ancestors, and he's an ancestor now. And that was the first time that I called upon him to be with me in this meditation. And I felt the energy, him wrapped, and I constantly think about me just giving him a hug, one last hug. And I just felt his energy yesterday as I was meditating, and it was such a relieving feeling. But I've been feeling that energy as I'm grinding, as I'm moving, and I've been felt energy like that from even brothers and sisters that I've lost before. So to have my biggest supporter as my angel, that's something different. Of course, I'd rather him be here and us do all the crazy shit together, but that's our circumstances. That's life.
Right.
And I've learned a lot about friendship, because that was one of the things that he was helping me with the most, was being not antisocial when I feel uncomfortable or have that social anxiety. The social anxiety to range from like just the way that I was as a kid. I was very distant from my family. Like I really stayed to myself, and I was always constantly just up under my grandpa, around my mom, around my brothers and sisters. So that's all I knew. That was all that I've gotten through with at the time. And then I've had my extended family, my dad's side, and then I rocked with them when I could. But I always stayed to myself. So that does things to a person when you stay to yourself. It's not healthy to completely stay to yourself.
Absolutely.
And they didn't do that. Like my brothers and sisters was very social. They got into more stuff than me, I thought. But but he helped me. One of his last lessons, I remember I was playing a game with a group of guys, and they really pissed me off because I was going through some things. Like I feel like a lot of my friends, they get to relax a little bit more in their lives, and they don't think about half of the things that I think about, and thank God. But I was just really mad, and I suddenly just left the game, and they were wanting me to come back on. I said, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting up with that. You said you'd be looking too deep into things sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're being a little bit judgmental. They're just goofing around, fucking around. Not everybody's attacking you. And I feel like in this world, we live in a very sensitive world.
We do.
Where we take everything as an attack. And I still had that mindset since I was a kid. I never took no shit as a kid. Yeah. And if someone would say something, my evil Aquarius would come out, and I would just fire.
Yeah. To go on along with what you're saying though, most things are an attack. But the reason I say that though is because, like you said, we live in a very sensitive world. So everybody's waiting for someone to attack them. So and most of us have the I have to attack you first mindset. So most of the times you're not reading too much into it. Because I feel the same way. I always feel like whenever someone says something, I'm like, the fuck you just said? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, like I'm not tripping. And my intuitions are very strong. Like I'm not fucking tripping.
And that part.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I hate when people try, you know what I mean? Not saying like that, not saying anything towards the lesson he was teaching.
No. And to go on to that, that's very important to acknowledge, like, because you have to be able to determine like what's an attack and what is.
Yeah.
But one thing that I will say with that is what I got from that the big is that I just can't let people get to the inside of me so easily.
Yeah, that's what it
And be
is.
so bothered by everything. Yeah, that person said that, but that don't change anything of how I should feel. It's
Yeah.
something deeper. If I'm really hurt, it's something deeper. It's something else that's bothering me. It ain't them because I ain't really worried about them.
Right.
So
Right.
if it's something
Exactly.
that's bothering me, I need to figure that out. And that's what I started to do during this time period after that lesson is to start to concretely get deep into the things that bother me that I don't like about myself.
Right.
And I worked on myself, and that was the last thing. Like literally before he passed away, I was in a very happy state of mind because I finally felt grounded with myself, like truly, it was authentic. Like I was coming around my friends, y'all. I was just meeting you for the first time,
Yeah.
at a writing session, and we were just grounded and just being ourselves. And I was speaking, and just being myself in rooms. And sometimes I don't be my full self.
Yeah.
So, that's what he helped me be.
Yeah.
He helped me be my full self. He was the first person to pick up the camera to film me. I bought the camera to film myself, but he had my back and helped me become myself every level and push me. He would make jokes like, "You work all the time. You don't care about me, da 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 da." But he called me every day on the phone just to check in on me, da da da, knowing that I'm tired. I'm probably not going to call because I'm super tired because I don't like calling people my sleepy energy. I be grumpy
Yeah.
and I might not seem motivated, but I just go hard on my stuff. But he would call regardless if I was at work, and he was the only person that I allowed that. Like he would call in the middle, and he's we brothers, so we talk crazy to each other. And he'd be like, "What you doing, bitch?"
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
"What
For
you doing,
sure.
motherfucker?" And he would just hit me with that, and I just love that warm energy, and I'm just happy before he passed away, I did get the chance to tell him how much I loved him.
Right.
And that's not something that we ever really did as, guys.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I had to let him know because we had like an argument one day, and I just didn't want it to go out of context to make him think that I did not care about him.
Right.
And I was like, "Yo, bro, we getting older now, and I don't want to fight with you like how we fought when we were kids and argue and just be weird towards each other. I just want you to know I really value you." And I got to say that to him. And that was one of the things that I thought about when he passed away.
Yeah.
Is
For
that
sure.
I at least I got to tell him how much I care about him in person. He knows that, and he can hug me without, feeling angry at me up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Thank you so much for coming through, bro. This has
no
been
problem,
an
man.
amazing fucking interview. I'm still like just in complete awe, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love you even more now than I loved you yesterday.
Vice versa, bro. Like this is very comfortable, like being on here and vibing with you. Like I said, this is literally my first concrete getting into depth type of interview about
Yeah.
myself, and I felt comfortable talking about everything down to what we just talked about.
Yeah.
And that's a real strength for me because it's been hard to talk about that. Moving forward has been hard, period, and
Yeah.
it's going to be hard for me for a long time, and I know that. But people like you, people in my circle, the world that I've created for myself through my craft, my business, by me just being myself, I'm blessed.
Yeah.
And that's what this year has definitely taught me is that I'm blessed with a lot of amazing people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. One last question before we go, bro. What are your goals and your plans for 2020 as far as and not like physical goals, as like I'll give you an example. One of my goals is to be more assertive, more direct with people, and things like that. You know what I mean? Learning to cut, because one of my problems is I always like hesitate. I'll always know when it's time to cut people off. Like I know when people just aren't good for me, but me being like kind of like timid in certain ways, like I'll just like allow these negative energies to be around,
Yeah.
knowing that I don't fuck with them,
Yeah.
but like just try to play it cool.
Yeah.
So that's like one of my goals is to just be more assertive, put my foot down with people. Like, no, like this was wrong.
Yeah.
Because my thing was I got to a point where I was like, I'm not addressing with anything with anybody no more. Like we grown now, motherfuckers know what they got going on. They know what they doing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like I just stopped addressing things with people. But then I realized in my mind that makes me look weak. I think like, you know, it makes it look like I didn't notice
Yeah.
or I'm not strong enough to address it.
I think that's all of our default. Like we all do that in some form of fashion. I'm the king of just backing up from a situation, not even
Yeah.
really speaking on it. But if I love you and you're my friend, the essence is to be good with you, and
Yeah.
and even when we're not good, like at least let's work on how we could be better, and things like that. So I respect that, and
Yeah.
I'm be here by you through that journey of doing that, and you
Absolutely.
already
Thank
know
you,
you
bro.
could talk to me about those
Hmm.
things when we get into them. Mine's is being more committed to myself. I'm always kind of like, heads over heels trying to help people, going all out for other people. But I have had this struggle with doing things for myself.
Right.
And it's because like I've had this personality that is like you only live once,
Hmm.
and I want to go out with a bang of like people knowing that I got your back.
Yeah, for sure.
And but I got to have my back too.
Hmm.
And this year I'm committing to myself, to my happiness, to my downtime. I'm taking
Hmm.
more downtime
Hmm.
rest.
I gotta, I gotta do that one.
Like for me, I've worked in my craft for 7 years straight.
Hmm.
Built a business that is doing good, and now I'm about to step into some different elements in business, open up some other companies, step into some other realms to get that multiple stream of income popping. But one of the biggest things that I can have now is I can take breaks.
Hmm.
I can take a couple of days to myself straight and just vibe out, watch some TV, be lazy, sit around. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying, and do
Yeah.
whatever I do on my downtime. So, I did that a lot during this time period. It's just rest,
Yeah.
and I've been I feel more like a warrior in my field on to my goals because of it. I
Hmm.
feel more clear of mind because I took that time to myself. Like I can feel like I can be more energetic because of that. You can't burn. We were talking about this before. That burnout be real when you're an
Yeah.
artist.
The burnout is real, bro.
And for me, I don't have like a regular job or anything like that. So the
Hmm.
fear when you're in business is that if I have a down, if I don't take certain jobs, if I don't do certain things, that it's gonna hurt me. But it never really does.
Hmm.
Everything is always going to be there for you. I'm very blessed that people understand that I'm going to give you quality every time I work with you. So I've had dedicated thank you clients out there. I look at the camera for that one because they bless me. Like
Hmm.
literally, like I can go ham on stories on how my clients bless me even when I'm not even working for them sometimes. Like
Yeah.
they just be like, happy holidays, boom. And I'll be like, thank
Yeah.
why do you do that? But
Facts.
God
Facts.
got me in that way. And then part of the journey is becoming more confident that you're going to be okay and not living in survival mode.
Hmm.
You have to live
Hmm.
and you have to be confident. If you're really confident in where you're going, then just be that.
Right.
One day off is not going to hurt you. 1 week, 1 month off won't even hurt you from your
Hmm.
craft. So that's really what it is for me, is really taking care of myself more and becoming more healthy, hitting the gym,
Yeah.
working out,
Yeah.
all that, eating better and all that good stuff.
Yeah. For
So
sure. For sure. That's a great goal to have, bro.
thank
And
you.
like I said, like you told me, I'll be here,
Thank
through
you.
that journey with
Stay
you.
on me.
Cause I still, I that's crazy. Me and Lissa was just talking about that yesterday or the day before that, and I was telling her like I need to start like doing for myself the way I do for other people and
Yes.
stuff. So that's crazy. Like I told you, our worlds are just so aligned, bro.
Always, bro.
So aligned.
Always, man.
But if you got this far into the interview, I love you and I love your mama for having you. I'm Culture. This is TQ. What's your Instagram, bro?
You can follow me at Taquan321action. Like I said, I'm going to be posting a lot of content that is just uplifting for you. Again, that is Taquan321action.
Taquan321action. Culture OV Hip Hop 81 West Podcast. I love y'all. Peace.
Peace.